Okay, so I'm gonna continue the conversation. I was saying before that, forgiveness take times and letting go of offenses take time. Sometimes it depends on the magnitude of the violation of what's happened. And so every day, day by day, I was saying that, you pray about it, you ask for it, right? Sometimes we have reminders or, like an earthquake aftershock, and we go, ooh, ooh. And so you have to constantly correct yourself, constantly correct your thought, and you do that over and over again. Forgiveness is like a muscle, the same way faith is a muscle, the same way, your muscle, right? It's a muscle. And so if you're not pumping this every day, you're not working this a couple times a week, then it's becoming flabby when you stop, right? And so day after day after day, it's like forgiveness, right? It's not gonna be as strong, right? But what happens is, if you don't work on that forgiveness muscle, what happens is it becomes kind of weak. And then the minute something happens, you're going to be triggered. And it's going to take you back. And if you haven't truly strengthened your ability to forgive, then you're going to walk around angry. And you're going to start sabotaging those positive things and like blessings that are coming to you. Because you're standing in the way, in the gap of the greatness. You're focused on the anger. So here's my thing. Before you go and try to hurt somebody back, look at what you have inside of you. If what you have is that you want to go back and pay them back, hurt them, do something, then realize there's something inside of you, right? Now think about it. If you don't like me, that means that it's not about me. It's something inside of you that you don't like about yourself. A lot of times that's human. We project. We project what we don't like in ourselves, right? And so I've seen on social media people talk about, oh, when people do this and that means that they've changed and they've this and that. No, it's not really about you. People generalize stuff on social media, right? At the end of the day, you're the common denominator, right? And sometimes what we're experiencing and what we see and what we cross our paths is the very thing that we're putting out. We don't realize it, right? I don't mean that, we don't have good in us, right? We all, I believe, have some good in us. What I'm saying is that there are things that we put out in the world. Things. I sound like a Jamaican, right? There's things we've done, right? Sometimes those things come back. Sometimes we forget. Like, what if you were gossiping last year or gossiping before with a friend, and then you forget about that, and then someone gossips about you? Did you forget that you used to gossip? Right? So that's why it's important to search yourself and look at what it is you're putting out there. And it doesn't mean that you deserve ill treatment or anything like that, right? But it means that if before you react, right? Before that happens, search yourself, right? So anyway, when people hurt you, when you get in relationships where things go sour, right? Where things go wrong, when stuff happens and it's turmoil and trauma, whatever, before you blame anyone, before you deal with it, before you go and fight it, before you handle it, before you think about it, before you do any of these things, right, to try to change stuff, the first question I want you to ask yourself is, what did I do to create this? What did I do to create this situation? And that's what I had to ask myself this weekend. Like, what did I do? Like, where did I miss the mark, right? Because sometimes I feel this unresolved karma. No, you may not believe in karma, but it means come back. It also means whatever you planted, whatever seed you've sown in your past, in your life, through your words, through your actions, and maybe you haven't forgiven them and neutralized those seeds and plant something new, them things are still there, growing, right, seeding. And sometimes those things are going to manifest in situations and manifest to show you that's happening, right? And so before you go, oh, this happened to me and this person, whatever, I look at it as, what do I do to create it? And how can I then fix it, right? How can I change it? How can I change it about myself so I don't continue to attract that, right? And so if you're constantly attracting gossip situations or negative people or toxic relations, or situations where you're constantly broke, where you're struggling, where you're constantly, attracting people doing you wrong or not appreciating you or taking advantage of you, if you're constantly experiencing, if you're constantly experiencing these things, that what you have to realize is somewhere, somehow, somewhere in your past, in your energy field, in your life, it's something that you created. And right now you're just experiencing it. That's it, right? And it's up to you to then diffuse it and then give it to the divine, give it to the universe, release, surrender it, let it go, and move forward, right? So, that's what I want to share with you. I didn't plan this conversation, but let me think about, is there anything else I wanted to say? So yeah, I'm going to recap. Don't pretend that you're not heard. Give yourself time to be angry, right? And so, yeah, take the time, right, to process it. Now, there's nothing about, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being angry. It's a part of being human. In religion and religiosity in my past, angry, to be angry is sinful. No, God never said that you can't be angry, right? That's not what it says. That's not what is being told, right? What it is that it's what you do with that anger, right? So then, yeah, process it, step away, process it, also realize that other people are mirrors, right? And when I said earlier that that person's also a child of the divine, a child of the universe, right? Here's the thing. That's the same thing. Someone else is a mirror, right? And that's part of what I said a little while ago. It's a mirror, right? It's a call for love. Anything that's not love is a call for love. And so oftentimes we experience a mirror because same thing. Something, in that circumstance is mirroring something in you, right? Maybe you just lashed out last week, or you just had an angry attitudinal moment with your partner before you ran into that person. And then you're sitting there offended, but you just gave it to someone else. So you're getting back what you just gave. And maybe it wasn't just now. Maybe it was last week, right? Maybe it was a month ago. Whatever it is, and if you've never dealt with it, sometimes it's coming back to you, right? So, after you get finished, with your forgiveness piece, right? Here's the thing. After you've done that and let it go, forgiveness is not being foolish, right? Just because, you're forgiven and let it go, it doesn't mean that you have to be friends with that person, right? I believe it says in scripture or in the Bible that, love your neighbor, right? Just because I have to love my neighbor, you don't necessarily have to like. Just because I love my neighbor doesn't mean I have to hang out with them, right? Doesn't mean I have to hang out with you, have to continue to have you in my life, right? So I can go to you in love, and I can love, and if something happens, I can do that. But it doesn't mean I have to like you, continue to have you in my life, continue to deal with you past the situation, right? Look at people through the eyes of love, right? It's also like, a child. Children are innocent. And a child can go through something with you. A child could go through something, like a child falls. And the child falls, cries, gets hurt, skins their knee. And what do? They process it, they cry, they get up and they go and play. Children are the ultimate symbol and example of letting ish go, right? They don't hold on to it. That's how we should be. We should be like children, right? Once again, it doesn't mean that I'ma still, deal with you after this. But what it means is that I can still love you and move forward. Same example with children. Sometimes I've dealt with children and they've been mad at me saying no or mad at something. But guess what? They're mad and then they let it go. And the next moment they're giving me hugs and kisses and they want to play, right? And that's it. And they move forward. Same token. Have the same energy. But once again, it doesn't mean that you have to deal with a person. If you choose to, pray on it first. Use your discernment, right? Be wise. But if not, you can then forgive, pray for that person, move on, right? And then move on with your life. That's it, right? So here's one more secret that I do after I deal with stuff, right? After I deal with it, I go alone, I visualize, I smile, I hug, and, I then see them through the eyes of love. I let it go. I then, will say a prayer, affirm something, right? What I do finally is that I will then take that situation, that person, and say, whatever, dear God, dear universe, dear ancestors, higher power, whatever that person, circumstance, situation need, right? Make them be able to get what they need to heal, what they need to heal, what they need to move in love, what they need to basically then let go of the fear, right? And that's my last thing I want to share with you, right? That's what it is that I do. That's what I close with, and I know it sounds almost foolish, right? But it's actually what I do, right? Because I want to lead with love. I want to be love as much as possible. And so that's why I do those things. So this is the close of this story and this experience. If you've missed a part of it, there's 2 other parts to it that are on this channel. And, watch those as well if you've missed something, because you may have missed the beginning of the story. That's in part 1. But I want to share with you that, I hope this was helpful. I got some Fred on me, but I hope this was helpful. If it was helpful, please comment and share with me what you've learned, what you've gotten from this video, and how it's helped you. How you move forward with your process of forgiveness and letting go and moving in love, right? And then also, if you want more content like this, please subscribe to the channel, and also click the link in my bio. Join my free VIP group where we, over there we share more love, more life, and more reminders of, your greatness and inspiration, and a reminder consistently of the greatness that you are and that you have and possess. So until next time, go in love. Go in peace. Be great.